Hello, good day everyone. Welcome to our discussion for today. We're going to talk about some least mastered competencies identified in elementary level in mathematics education. And these are the topics such as rate and speed and as well as the algebraic expression. So without further ado, let us now begin our discussion. So first, let us talk about the rates and speed. So rates competencies from corresponding grade level and quarter. So I have identified different competencies starting from grade 1 up to grade 6 using the old curriculum, the K to 12 curriculum guide, as well as the Matatag curriculum that are now being or currently in transition for during the implementation of the current school years. So let us first deal with the old curriculum. In grade 1, quarter 3, aligned specific learning competencies are it tells and writes time in hours and half hour using analog and digital clock. So this is from the old curriculum K to 12. Conceptual prerequisites for rate and speed because are prerequisite for rate and speed because understanding time measurement is required. So though ito pong mga learning competencies na ito ay it does not explicitly says that it is all about the rates and speed po. Kumbaga ay ito po yung pinaka foundational concept na tinuturo starting pa lang po ng grade 1 para po magamit nila kapag sila na ay mag-aaral ng specific learning competencies na related na po talaga sa rates and speed. So moving on, we have the in grade 2, quarter 3. So the aligned specific learning competencies is tells and writes time in minutes including AM and PM using analog and digital clock. So again, from old curriculum po ito. Ito po ay all about the time pa lang po ang pinapag-usapan po natin dito. So yun po yung mga prerequisites during those grade levels. We also have for grade 3, quarter 3 pa rin po. We have competency number 1, tells and writes time to the nearest minute and solve problems involving elapsed time. And competency number 2, we have solves routine and non-routine problems involving elapsed time. So kung nakikita nyo po dito, magsisimula na yung kanilang problem solving regarding po sa time problem po. And dyan na rin po talaga yung importanteng step kung saan yung awareness po sa time when it comes to analyzing problems. Kasi po alam naman po natin na when we're dealing with the speed is equal to distance over time, wherein time po ay important variable po sa pag-solve ng speed. Kaya masasabi ko po na though it does not explicitly says here rate and speed, ito po the foundational concepts or competencies regarding time are important for learning that. So we also have here from grade 4 in quarter 3, we have the aligned competencies such as solve routine and non-routine problems involving distance. And for competency number 2, we have solve problems involving time and elapsed time. So sa grade 4 po makikita nyo na mayroon ng two main variables na involved sa pag-compute ng speed. Nandito na po yung distance and yung time na sinimulan po nila from grade 1, foundational concept. So, dito na po unti-unti mabubuo yung concepts ng pag-solve ng rate and speed. So, old curriculum pa rin po yung basis po natin dito. Okay, let me go back here. Okay, so dito po tayo sa, we're done with the grade 4. So, in grade 5 po, nandito na po yung talagang align na align siya. Ano po, kumbaga ay nandun na po mismo yung keyword na hinahanap po natin. Quarter 2 from grade 5 po, doon na po nag-aaral ng rates ang mga elementary students po natin. Specifically, solve problems involving rate. Since nung from grade 1 to grade 4 po, nakuha na po nila yung foundational skills to deal with the variables such as distance and time. Dito na po yung formal na learning regarding sa rate. So, magsisimula po siya ng grade 5. Then, sa grade 6 po, nandito po yung another learning competency po natin. Calculate speed, distance, and time, and solve problems involving average, rate, and speed. Kasi nga po, ang speed po is application po siya ng rate. Okay po. So, yun po ay base po sa ating old curriculum guide. So meron pa rin po tayo dito na matatag curriculum po na currently ini-implement po natin ngayon. So in transition po, kasi po ngayong current school years, yung iba pong mga grade level sa elementary is still in old curriculum, yung iba po ay nag-implement na po last year ng matatag curriculum. So hindi pa po fully implemented yung matatag curriculum, kaya sinama ko na rin po yung analysis ng old curriculum natin. So for our matatag curriculum, under the matatag mathematics curriculum, the competencies are streamlined and grouped under measurement and proportional reasoning. The explicit concept of speed remains primarily in upper elementary level. So, mga upper elementary level po, meaning kasi mga grade 5 to grade 6, ganun po. So, dito po, makikita po natin sa matatag curriculum, ang concepts po ng rates ay makikita natin sa grade 5, quarter 3 po ng grade 5, wherein the aligned specific learning competency ay it solves routine and non-routine problems involving rate. So, almost the same po sa ating old curriculum din po, rate po ang sinusolve nila sa grade 5. Then pagdating po sa grade 6, dun po papasok yung competencies, determines speed, distance, or time given the other two quantities. So dito po medyo pagdating sa matatag curriculum, medyo mataas-taas na kasi po kailangan na po ng derivation ng formula. Dito pa lang po sa competency itself po, ito po yon. Then another one is the solve problems involving speed and average speed and real life situation. So kung mapapansin niyo po sa matatag curriculum, yung concepts po na yon ay naka center po starting from grade 5 up to grade 6. So this is the summary po ng spiral development po from grade 1 to grade 6. Sa grade 1, una po muna ay pag-aaralan nila yung time measurement. Sa grade 2 po, papasok po yung time measurement in minutes. So magko-convert po sila yung from 1 hour to minutes. Ilan po yung mga katumbas nun. Napakahalaga pong foundational knowledge yun sa pag-solve ng problems related to rate and speed. So in grade 3, elapsed time po. Grade 4, distance and time. So makikita nyo po dito from grade 4, magsasama na yung dalawang main variable na important to solve the speed. Then grade 5, focus po sa rate. Then grade 6 po yung pinakang main discussion niyang rate and speed. Kung saan po kailangan nilang mag-derive ng formula to find the speed, the distance, and the time. So, ito naman po yung ating summary list of reasons why students struggle with the rate and speed. So, kaya po tayo nag-uusap ngayon kasi nga po, itong rate and speed is one of the identified least mastered competencies in elementary level. So, I have browsed different studies po from ResearchGate, Eric, JSTOR, and marami pa pong ibang mga sources. Ito po ay focusing, sadly po, itong mga sources po nito, ang mga respondents po nila is in junior high school level po. More on grade 7 to grade 8 po. Almost isang lang po yung pang elementary level. Pero nakakalungkot nga po doon kasi ang pinapag-usapan po nating topic is for elementary level. And since the focus of these studies are for grade 7 and grade 8, meaning to say, talaga pong masasabi natin na hindi po talaga na-master ng mga bata sa elementary pa lamang itong topic natin na rate and speed po. Kasi nga po, ito pong mga reasons na ito ay lumabas na ito yung dahilan bakit po nag-struggle yung mga learners. And take note, they are grade 7 and grade 8 learners po. So, isa-isahin po natin sila. So, we have the weak proportional reasoning skills, additive thinking instead of multiplicative thinking, difficulty identifying relevant quantities, and contextual problem, difficulty interpreting graphical representation of motion, cognitive load in multi-step contextual problem solving, difficulty translating word problems into mathematical representations, misinterpretation of ratios and missing value structures, conceptual confusion between proportional and non-proportional relationship, and problem representation challenges. So let's try to discuss it one by one po with their citations that I cite from the researchers po na related dito. So unang-una po is the weak proportional reasoning as fundamental barrier. Sabi dito, Proportional reasoning is crucial cognitive skill needed to understand the rate, speed because these concepts involve relationship between two quantities such as distance and time. Research shows that many students struggle to identify multiplicative relationship and instead rely on incorrect reasoning strategies. A study found that learners often fail to differentiate proportional and non-proportional relationship when solving mathematical problems, which affects their ability to correctly interpret rate situation, according to Sari et al. 2024. Even when students obtain correct answers, they may do so without fully understanding and underlying proportional structure required for rate reasoning. So, okay, to give you a much clearer idea, dito po sa pagtuturo ng rate and speed, syempre po, ang unang topic po or mathematical concept na i-introduce po natin is ratio. So, dapat po malaman ng bata ano yung kaibahan ng ratio sa rate. So, di ba po, yun ay comparison ng two measurement. Kumbaga po, halimbawa po sa ratio, 3 apples is to 2 orange. So, siya po example ng ratio. They are both quantities of a same object. So, they are both, same concept, which is fruit. Parehas pong fruit ang apple and orange. Kino-compare nyo lang po yung quantity ng dalawa. Merong 3 apple, merong 2 orange. Pero pagdating naman po sa concept ng rate, we're comparing two distinct set of quantities of different objects po yan. Halimbawa po, apple yung isa, 1 apple is to 25 pesos. So, yung apple po, siya po ay fruit. And 25 pesos is the price. So, they are different or distinct quantities na kino-compare natin. And sa pagdami po ng apple, syempre, mataas din po ang presyo. If 1 apple is to 25 pesos, so if we have 3 apples, we have 75 pesos. So, yung relationship po, habang tumataas yung, o dumadami yung bilang ng apple, nagmumultiply din po yung cost na kailangan nating bayaran. So, yun po yung sinasabi dito na multiplicative relationship. And dun po nag-struggle yung mga students na i-identify po yung relationship na yun. Yun po yung result nitong study nila, Sari et al. 2024. At sabi po dito, nasusolve nga po ng mga bata yung rate problem. However, hindi po nila ma-explain yung relationship, yung pinakang mathematical concept behind that. Kumbaga po ay, they're very reliant on solving the mathematical problem with just using the formula na tinuro sa kanila nung kanilang teacher. Pero pagdating po sa explanation, pag-intindi po ng process on how to solve that, hindi po nila kayang i-explain yun and elaborate yung process itself behind that solution for that problem. So, yun po yung una nating reason kung bakit sila ay nag-struggle sa ating learning competency na ito or sa topic na ito. Another one, we have additive thinking instead of multiplicative thinking. Another significant difficulty arises when students rely on additive thinking rather than multiplicative reasoning. In rate and speed problems, learners must understand how one quantity changes in relation to another through multiplication or division. However, research indicates that many students attempt to solve proportional situation by comparing differences rather than ratio, leading to incorrect conclusion about speed relationship. Ito po ay galing sa study nila, Linuhong et al. 2025. So, very recent pa lang po itong study na to. This challenge highlights the difficulty students face when transitioning from arithmetic thinking to proportional reasoning. So, kumbaga po ay siguro po nako-confuse yung mga bata. Kasi di ba po, ang concept ng multiplication is anchored sa concept ng addition. For instance, if we have 2 times 3, that is same as what is the sum of adding 2 plus 2 plus another 2, and that is 6. Same with 2 times 3. So, instead po na pang multiplication yung concept na iniisip nila sa pag-analyze nun, tinitingnan po nila yon sa perspective na dumadagdag yung same same quantity na yun. So, arithmetic thinking po ang ginagamit nila instead of multiplicative reasoning or what we call also the proportional reasoning. So, anyway po, in contrast naman po dito sa aking view, in contrast po dito sa result ng study na ito, para sa akin po, there is no perfect single solution for any mathematical problem. Di ba po? Pwede naman po tayo maka-arrive sa same answer, pero different way or different solution po yung pwede natin gamitin. And we should welcome that as a teacher po, di po ba? Ang mahalaga po, kayang i-explain ng mga bata yun. Since naman po talagang related naman po talaga yung concept ng arithmetic thinking o yung addition sa concept ng multiplication. Pero kung ang punto po ng research na to is gusto nilang ma-develop yung proportional reasoning ng mga students, it is right to say that it is one of the problem. Pero kung titingnan natin yung flexibility when it comes to problem solving in mathematics, we should welcome this type of thinking naman po para sa mga students. So that's our second reason. For the next reason, so difficulty identifying relevant quantities and contextual problems. So we have here rate problems often appear in real-world context, of course, such as travel scenarios involving distance and time. Students frequently struggle to determine which number represents meaningful quantities within the problem. Research shows that the learners tend to focus on superficial elements of word problems rather than identifying the mathematical relationship between variables. When students misidentify the quantities involved, they may apply incorrect operation or construct inaccurate mathematical relationship. So dito naman po, minsan po kasi mayroong mga problem na kung when we're computing speed problem, minsan aside from the given distance and time when looking for speed, minsan nagbibigay pa sila ng ibang quantity. Halimbawa po ay sa price. Price per travel, sa pag-travel po sa distance. Nagkakaroon po ng mga unnecessary given or numerical quantities dun sa problem. And kapag po yung students ninyo ay mababa po ang comprehension level, at talaga pong nagpo-focus lang po sila dun sa makikita nilang numerical values, tapos bigla na lang po nilang ita-times or i-divide yan, talaga pong dun po tayo na magkakaproblema. Yun po yung sinasabi dito. Difficulty in identifying relevant quantities. Hindi po nila naiisip or nako-comprehend na yung ibang mga quantities doon, numerical quantities, ay hindi naman po natin kailangan sa pag-solve nung speed, distance, or time. Medyo nagiging distractors po sila. Yun po yung isang problema na na-identify nila Sari et al. From their research in 2024. So another thing is difficulty interpreting graphical representation of motion. Graphical representations such as distance, time graphs are commonly used to illustrate rate relationship. However, students often misinterpret these graphs by viewing them as literal pictures of movement rather than representations of relationship between variables. Research on representational transition in mathematics and physics found that learners frequently misunderstand how graphs represents rate change over time. This is from the study of Planinik et al. 2022. This misunderstanding prevents students from developing a deeper conceptual understanding of rate as relational quantity. So, hindi naman po lahat ng oras ang pinibigay po natin sa ating mga students is in a form of raw numerical given, mathematical situation. Minsan, we allow them to explore graphs or graphical representations. And based on my experience, there are some or maybe many students who find it hard to read and interpret graphs. Siguro po ay problema na rin yung foundational foundational skills po to interpret the graphs. And minsan po kapag talagang ay mababa po yung skill level nila doon, nagbibigay rin po sa kanila yun ng pressure. Kumbaga po, naisip nila agad, ay mahirap yan. Hindi ko alam, hindi ko kayang intindihin yung graph. So, imbis po na makapag-focus sila, nadadagdagan yung pressure, mas dumadami pa po iniisip nila, mas hindi sila nakakapag-concentrate dun sa dapat nilang solving. So, that's one additional problem or source of reason bakit po nag-struggle din sila dito sa rate and speed. So that is difficulty in interpreting graphical representation. We also have cognitive load in multi-step contextual problem solving. So rate problems typically requires multiple cognitive processes, including identifying variables, determining relationships between quantities, constructing mathematical models, and performing calculations. According to cognitive load theory, when learners must process many elements simultaneously, working memory becomes overloaded, leading to errors or superficial reasoning strategies. This is from the study of Sweller in 1988. So, kung mapapansin niyo po, medyo old na po itong sources na to, pero I think valid pa rin naman po ito. Ano? Kasi anchored naman po siya sa cognitive load theory. Students with weaker foundational skills are particularly vulnerable to these cognitive demands. Ito na po kasi yung talagang main problem din natin. Ano po? Ito po ay nagsisimula sa kawalan ng solid foundation ng bata sa mga prerequisite skills na dapat nilang ma-attain bago pa sila humantong dito sa itong specific learning competency na to. Kasi po, sabi nga dito, multi-step contextual problem solving. Sa bawat step po na yon, it requires specific skills na dapat na-develop na po nila beforehand bago pa sila dumating dito. So, sabi nga po dito, including identifying variables. So, unang-una, comprehension level, which is one of the problems na kinakaharap din natin ngayon, di ba? Sa literacy and numeracy level ng mga Pilipino is very low. So, dun pa lang po, nagka-problema na tayo. Pag hindi nila kayang interpret or i-identify yung variables, automatic, mamamali na po agad sila ng isosolve. Determining relationship between quantities. Yung una pong nabanggit natin kanina, di ba? Yung multiplicative relationship, proportional relationship. Pag hindi po nila na itugma ng maayos yun, maaari pong kung sila ay magre-represent ng rates in a fraction form, baka po magbaliktaran yung numerator and denominator pag pinagtugma po natin yung dalawang rates when we're looking for missing variable po, di po ba? So, another problem din po yon. And constructing mathematical models and performing calculation. So, kung wala po silang strong foundation and skill na magsusupplement para ma-perform yung specific problem-solving steps na yan, talaga pong mag-struggle po sila pagdating sa mga topic po na yan. So, that's why sabi nga po dito, students with weaker foundation skills are particularly vulnerable for these cognitive demands. Kaya po talagang napakahalaga ng foundation skills when it comes to mathematics. At dito po natin makikita yon na nagre-reflect na po dito sa result ng study na ito na ang mga bata na hindi nakapag-develop fully ng foundational skills really struggle in higher mathematical concepts. So, we also have difficulty translating word problems into mathematical representation. Many rate problems are embedded in narrative contexts that require learners to translate verbal descriptions into mathematical equations or expressions. Research in mathematical problem solving indicates that students often struggle to identify mathematical structure of word problems, leading them to perform incorrect operations or use irrelevant numbers. This is from Schofield, 1992. This difficulty limits students' ability to construct accurate mathematical models for rate scenario. So, ito rin po ay problema na rin sa comprehension level ng mga bata. And most of all, dapat po yung mga nababasa nila ay kaya nilang i-transfer into mathematical models or concepts. Kasi nga po, ito po yung problema sa problem solving po ito kadalasan nag-o-occur. Kasi nga po, hindi nila mai-translate yung word problems into mathematical concepts. Like yung paano po nila ma-determine kung alin po yung numerator and denominator pag present po nila yung rate into fraction form. Kung hindi po nila properly maintindihan kung anong ibig sabihin ng bawat variable po dun sa problem na pre-present sa kanila or na-encounter po nila. So we also have misinterpretation of ratio and missing value structures. Rate problems frequently involves missing value situations where one quantity must be determined using proportional reasoning. Studies have shown that students often misinterpret these situations and incorrectly apply proportional relationship without fully analyzing the structure of the problem. This is from the study of Bandurin et al. In 2007. As a result, learners may incorrectly assume proportional relationship even when they do not exist. So yun nga po, mali po yung nagiging proportion na pinapagtambal-tambal. Kumbaga po doon sa ratio, mali po yung mga nakalagay doon sa extreme and means, doon po sa, kung ang representation naman po natin ay in a fraction form, mali po yung mga nilalagay nila or balibaliktad po yung ina-assign nilang numerator and denominator, which leads to wrong answer po. Ano po, misinterpretation po ng mga values. And kadalasan po ito ay nangyayari sa during grade 6 po kasi po 'di ba? Ang topic natin doon is finding speed, time, and distance given to quantities. So ito po ay kadalasan na i-encounter ng mga grade 6 pataas na students. So we also have problem representation challenges. Research also shows that the way mathematical problems are presented influences students' ability to solve them successfully. When learners lack experience using diagrams, tables, or symbolic representations to model relationship, they may struggle to construct accurate representation of rate problems. Studies on proportional reasoning indicate that difficulties in selecting appropriate representations can hinder successful problem solving. So, yun nga po. So, maganda rin po na sa students, meron din po silang na-develop na habit or capability kung paano po nila i-represent yung mga problem na na-encounter po na, or rather, mathematical problems po. Kasi pwede naman po tayong, when we're dealing with rates problem, pwede po tayong gumamit ng diagram or graphs to represent that. Then, meron din pong table. Pwede po tayong gumamit ng table. Pwede rin tayong gumamit ng expressions or symbolic representations. Pwede tayong gumamit ng fraction. So, kapag wala po silang kumbaga hindi po nila alam kung saan sila komportableng paraan kung paano solvein yun, nag-i-struggle pa po sila to easily solve that problem. Ano po, depende pa rin naman po kasi sa learning style ng mga bata yan, kung saan sila komportable at kung paano nila sinosolve yun. Anyway, ang mahalaga nga po, sabi ko kanina, ay they arrive at the same answer po. Any method ay pwede po nilang gamitin. And some given method po ay ito nga pong representation modeling ng ating mga problem related sa rates and speed. Okay? So, to sum up this one, overall research indicates students' difficulties in learning rate and speed stem from a combination of conceptual, cognitive, and representational challenge. Weak proportional reasoning reliance on additive strategies and difficulty identifying problems between variables prevent learners from fully understanding rate as multiplicative concept. Additionally, challenges in interpreting graphs, translating word problems, and managing the cognitive demands of multi-step reasoning further contribute to student struggles. This finding suggests that the effective instruction in rate and speed should emphasize conceptual understanding, proportional reasoning development, and use of multiple representation to support learners' mathematical reasoning. So dito po nakalahad na lahat ng summary ng ating course, and sabi nga po dito, to address this, we should emphasize conceptual understanding. So dapat po ma-introduce po muna natin ng maayos lahat ng mga important mathematical concept na kailangan ng mga bata to solve the rate and speed. Sunod, proportional reasoning development. Dapat po ma-emphasize po natin yung proportional reasoning instead of additive reasoning or arithmetic reasoning para po mas ma-visualize po nila ng maayos yung process behind the relationship of variables as well as the process sa pag-solve po ng rate and speed related problem. And we should also allow our students or show different methods or variety of way on how to solve problems through different modeling or representation na pwede pong gamitin ng mga students para po malaman nila kung saan yung mas prepare nilang way at kung saan sila mas nadadalian na paraan sa pag-solve ng mga problems involving rates and speed. So, that is for our topic, the rate and speed. Let's proceed naman po sa ating second topic, which is about the algebraic expression. So, like what we did earlier, let's see po muna, ano po ba yung, saan po magpo-fall yung algebraic expression from grade 1 to grade 6. Sa grade 1 po, using our old curriculum guide, sa grade 1, quarter 2 po siya magpo-fall. First, describe and extend repeating patterns using objects, pictures, sounds, and movement. So, ang focus po nito is yung pattern. Ano po, yun po yung unang inu-introduce natin sa mga bata as early as grade 1. Kailangan po ma-allow natin sila na ma-develop yung skills into identifying or recognizing patterns in different objects or things. This competencies develops early algebraic thinking through pattern recognition. Okay po. In grade 2 naman po, quarter 2 naman po siya. Describe, extends, and create repeating patterns using objects, pictures, numbers, and shape. So, again po, pattern recognition pa rin po ang focus natin sa grade 2. Na in grade 3 po, quarter 1, describe, extends, and create number pattern. So, number patterns introduce the learners to relationship between numbers which later lead to algebraic expression. So again po, ang focus pa rin is patterns and relationship. Unti-unti po nating dine-develop yung foundational skills ng mga bata in pattern recognition and relationship as well. Okay, in grade 4 po, nandito na po yung describes and extends number patterns and find the missing term in a sequence of number. So, medyo tumataas na po yung level of competencies po natin. So, learners begin identifying rules and sequence of precursor to forming algebraic expression. So, from patterns to relationships, then magpupunta na po tayo sa rule derivation na po, yung mga rules, which is a very important concept din po sa pagdating sa development ng algebraic expression. And grade 5 po, we have grade 5 quarter 1, represents relationship using tables and graphs. And describe number patterns and find the rule of the pattern. O ito po, nagsisimula na po tayo sa mga representation models po natin using tables and graphs. Ito naman po yung mga organizers po natin para mas matulungan nating ma-visualize ng mga learners yung mga ideas, mga patterns, relationships, and rules. So, dito na po, unti-unti na pong magsisimula yung transition from arithmetic patterns to algebraic representation. And in grade 6, nandito po yung illustrates and write algebraic expression. Ito na po mismo yung ating topic. And evaluate algebraic expression for given values of the variables. Dito na po mismo yung talagang i-apply nila yung mga foundational knowledge na natutunan nila from grade 1 to grade 5. Okay, this is the first formal introduction of algebraic expression in elementary mathematics. Okay, tingnan naman po natin yung sa side ng matatag curriculum. So, sa grade 4 po magsisimula itong concept po natin, concept building po natin. Quarter 1, describes and generalized patterns using words, tables, and simple expressions. So, kita nyo po, grade 4, dati po ay words, tables, and graphs lamang po. Meron ng words and simple expression na po tayo agad na nadagdag dito. Medyo tumaas po talaga yung kalibre ng education ng or rather than na caliber ay tumaas po yung educational demands para sa ating elementary students when it comes to matatag curriculum. Grade 4 po, yan na po agad ang ina-expect sa mga bata na ma-achieve. Sa grade 5 po, represents relationship using tables, graphs, and simple algebraic expressions. So, as early as grade 5, meron na po talaga silang formal dealing with algebraic expressions. And pagdating po sa grade 6, illustrate algebraic expression and evaluate algebraic expressions for given values of variables. So, dito po ay, kumbaga ay may more practice na po agad sila from grade 4 to grade 5 para po sana dito sa grade 6 ay ready na po sana sila. Pero, ayon po sa studies, ay ano nga po kaya ang naging problema? Ano po? Kasi siguro po sa pagtaas ng cognitive demand or educational demand, imbis siguro na ma-prepare sila ay parang may mga lapses pa rin ang nangyayari. Yun po ang dahilan kung bakit napasama itong topic na ito sa ating mga pinapag-aralan ngayon na least mastered competencies when it comes to mathematics elementary grade level. So, isa-isahin po natin yan. Bago po yun, ito po yung summary ng spiral progression po. From grade 1, recognizing repeating patterns. Grade 2, creating and extending patterns. Grade 3, number patterns. Then grade 4, rules and sequences. Grade 5, representing relationship through different models. And grade 6, ito na po yung formal algebraic expression and evaluation. Formal introduction po ng ating topic. So, I have identified 3 reasons why students struggles with algebraic expressions through studies po. Again, na ang respondents po is ranging from grade 7 to grade 8 din po. So medyo higher level na po yung respondents nila, pero expected po again na dapat itong mga learning competencies na ito ay na-acquire na nila as early as grade 6 pa lamang po or grade 4 from matatag curriculum po. So, kitang-kita nyo po, napakalaki ng learning gap. Kasi ito pong mga na-identify ko na studies is, ang target respondents nga po ay junior high school level na. Unang-una is misconception in algebraic concepts and expression. We also have errors in algebraic operations and notation. Also, difficulty translating word problems context into algebraic models. Also, misunderstanding and simplification process. Then, language and wording challenges in algebraic context. And error patterns in fractional algebraic expression. So, let's deal with it one by one. The first one is the misconception in algebraic concepts and expression. Students often develop misconceptions regarding algebraic expressions or algebraic symbols, variables, relationship between quantities. Research using diagnostic assessment found that many learners misinterpret the meaning of algebraic symbols and fail to understand relational nature of algebraic expression. That is from the study of Williu Zheng et al. 2025. So very present pa lang po to last year. This misconception persists even among students who have prior exposure to algebra and significantly affect their ability to correctly evaluate or manipulate expression. So sabi nga po dito ay kahit yung ma-exposure na sa algebra ay nagkakamali pa rin po dito. So siguro po ang naging problema natin dito is retention level ng bata pagdating dun sa mga learning na acquire nila. So sabi dito po ay ilan sa mga problem is misconception sa algebraic symbol. So yung mga algebraic symbol po natin ay hindi po alam ng mga bata kung anong ibig sabihin ng mga symbol na yon. Minsan nga po nagkakabaliktaran pa yung greater than, less than, tapos yung mga variables po, yung letters, hindi po nila alam kung anong ibig sabihin nun. Tapos pag naglagay pa minsan ng squared, cube, hindi na nila alam. Minsan tinatimes nila yung exponent dun sa variable o dun sa numerical coefficient. Mga ganun po ang instances na na-encounter ko. Yung mga relationship of the quantities, hindi rin po nila masyadong gamay or naiintindihan kung anong ibig sabihin po ng mga relationship na yun. Minsan po, yung x variable, ini-interpret din po nila as multiplication, which is iba na po yung ginagamit nating symbol, di ba po? Pag gumagamit tayo ng algebraic expression, it's either the parenthesis or the dot on the middle po. Yun po ay minsan po ay napagkamalan ng mga students na yung x po ibig sabihin ay times. So, yun po ay some of the misconception po. That is one of the initial problem po when it comes to algebraic expression po. Next is the error in algebraic operation and notation. Operational errors are also common when students attempt to manipulate algebraic expressions. Studies examining learners' algebraic performance found that students frequently make mistakes when combining like terms, applying order of operation, or maintaining the correct placement of variables. This is according to study of Nuraida 2024. These errors often result from weak conceptual understanding of algebraic structures and difficulty transitioning from arithmetic operation to symbolic manipulation. So, yun nga po. Yung very particular din po ako dito sa algebraic, ano po ito, yung pinapagsama po nila mistakes when combining like terms. hindi po natatandaan ng mga students na hindi po pwedeng pagsamahin yung terms with different exponents. Minsan po pinapag-plus nila nun. Ang masakla pa po, minsan ang ginagawa nila, ina-add po nila yung exponent. Kung hindi naman po ina-add, ang ginagawa nila, pinapag-multiply po nila yung exponent. Minsan nga po, yung constant, sinasama rin dun sa mga terms na mayroon ding variable. So, that is based on my experience din po na na-encounter po sa mga bata habang nagtuturo din ako niyang algebraic expressions na yan. So, yung order of operation po, yung emphasis po ng GEMDAS, nagkakamali din po dyan yung mga bata. Yan ay one of the main reasons na rin po talaga kung bakit nagkakamali sila sa pagsosolve ng algebraic operations. So, maintaining correct placement of variables is also one of the problem po. So, yun po talaga is very, ito po talaga ay maobserbahan din natin sa current educational setting and in our local setting po. Very evident po itong result ng study ni Nuradja 2024. We also have difficulty translating word problems context into algebraic models. So we have many algebra problems are presented in narrative context that requires learners to convert verbal description into symbolic mathematical expression. Research shows that students often misunderstand the meaning of the problem statement and consequently construct incorrect equation or expressions. This is according to the study of Ario et al. 2025. This difficulty highlights the importance of developing students' ability to interpret real-world situations and translate them into mathematical representation. So, yun po. Yung, kumbaga ay, parang hindi po nila na-master yung topic na nito ay translating mathematical English sentence into mathematical expression and vice versa. Ito po yung naging problem natin dun sa pagdating na po sa word problem na ang dinidil ng mga bata regarding sa algebraic models. Wherein siguro rin po nag-stem na rin po sa comprehension level ng mga bata, weak foundation na rin po. Pagdating dun sa topic na nabanggit ko na yon, yung translating English sentence to mathematical expressions, na yun po ang magiging stem or root cause ng pagkakaroon ng faulty identification of variables. Kasi po, yun nga po based on experience din, merong mga students na kayang-kaya nilang mag-solve. Provided na ang ibibigay nyo po sa kanila ay automatically algebraic expression na. Napakagagaling po nila. Pag yun po ang ginawa mo, given agad yung algebraic expression, kailangan nila mag-solve, napakaraming makakatama dun. Pero, once nag-provide ka ng problem solving, in any instances po ito na obserbahan ko, kahit anong pan-topic, pagdating na ng problem solving, parang natatakot na yung mga bata na mag-solve. First, nagda-doubt sila kung tama ba yung pakaintindi nila sa problem. Yun nga po. Then, yung doubt po na yun, ang nagiging dahilan kung bakit din sila nagkakamali. Nauubos na rin po yung oras ka, overthink nila. Hindi po iba pa nga po ay nagre-resort sa hindi na lang po magsasagot kasi baka daw po mamali. Hindi na nagtatry. So, yun po. Kaya dapat dinedevelop din po natin palagi yung problem-solving skills ng ating mga bata. Yun po ay in collaboration na rin po siguro sa pag-solve ng ating problem when it comes to literacy skills ng ating mga students. So magkatambal po talaga, hindi po natin mahiwalay ang literacy skills sa numeracy skills. Kasi para sa akin po ay ito ang pinaka-hate ng mga bata pagdating sa mathematics topics, yung lahat po na may involve ang problem solving. Kasi nga po, nahihirapan silang i-comprehend at i-analyze yung problem. Also, misunderstanding in simplification process. Simplifying algebraic expression requires students to understand the structure of expressions and apply mathematical rules consistently. However, qualitative research on student simplification process reveals that learners frequently misinterpret coefficients, incorrectly combine variables, or apply simplification rules inconsistently. These misunderstandings indicate that the students may memorize rules without fully understanding their conceptual basis. So, yun nga po. Yung iba po talaga ay kayang mag-solve, pero yung yung concept po behind that, hindi na nila kayang ipaliwanag. And yung simplification rules, minsan po na i-apply nila dun sa ibang variables, pero dun po sa iba ay hindi naman po nila na i-apply. Nag-appear din po dun sa study ni Rama na ito, yung problema kanina na incorrectly combining variables. Yung problem po sa yung similar terms po ay hindi rin na i-combine ng maayos. Napapagsama po yung mga dissimilar terms na dapat naman po talaga ay hindi pwedeng pagsamahin when it comes to performing the addition and subtraction operation po. So yun po, ito po ay another reason po sa kung bakit nag-struggle. Okay, we also have language and wording challenge in algebraic context. So, language use in algebraic problems can also influence the students' performance. Studies have found that complex wording and the use of symbols to represent different quantities can create confusion among learners. So, this is from the study of Soneria 2023. When students struggle to interpret linguistic structure of algebraic problems, they may have difficulty constructing accurate algebraic expressions or equation. So, ito po, hindi rin lang naman po sa bata ang problema sa pag-intindi ng mga problem po. Minsan, yung language and wordings po na ginagamit ng mga educators ay somewhat confusing pagdating sa mga learners. And as a matter of fact, I also encountered that type of problem din po. Minsan po yung mga given resources or educational resources na pinagbabasihan natin ng mga word problems, meron din po ako na-encounter doon na parang confusing po ang dating ng mga words na ginagamit nila, na nagiging dahilan po kung bakit nami-misinterpret ng mga bata yung kanilang mathematical representation na ginagamit. Kaya po, as an educator, we should always be mindful and be careful po. Basahin po natin maigi yung yung mga resources or problems na ina-adapt natin sa mga different resources. And kung sa tingin po natin ay nahihirapan tayo, sa level pa lang po natin, nahihirapan tayo na intindihin yun, we should try to rephrase or reword the problems para naman po maibaba po natin or may angkop sa age level po ng ating mga students. Yung mga wordings na ginagamit natin sa pag-construct po noon. So, another one is error patterns in fractional algebraic expression. Students also experience significant difficulties when algebraic expressions involve fractions or rational numbers. Research analyzing students' algebraic errors found that learners frequently make mistakes when working with fractional expression, often due to weak understanding of fractional operation. So, this is from the study of Tastepe 2023. These difficulties demonstrate how gaps in earlier arithmetic knowledge can carry over to algebraic learning. So, yun nga po, yung pag-highlight din po dito, yung pag hindi nyo po na-develop yung mga foundational knowledge na kailangan ninyo, para bang mumultuhin kayo niyan dito sa higher mathematics level. Katulad na lang po nitong fraction. Ito rin po ay very notable instances sa pagdating sa aking mga students. Once po ang discussion ay nahaluan na ng fraction, nasama na po talaga agad ang mga mukha nila. Ayaw na po nilang mag-solve. Parang nandun na po sa mindset nila, ang hirap naman, hindi po namin kaya yan. Paano po yan? To the point na kahit paulit-ulitin mo, instead na mag-focus sila dun sa naturo mo, para bang na kinulong na nila yung sarili nila dun sa thought na hindi nila kaya. Yun po yung problema natin. Kapag weak ang foundation, nawawala po yung confidence ng bata, nagkakaroon ng doubt, and nawawala na rin po sila ng concentration para mag-solve pa or i-focus yung sarili nila para i-welcome yung knowledge na dapat nilang ma-achieve at their current level. So that is a very big challenge po pagdating dun sa atin. Kung paano po natin i-fill yung gap na na-acquire ng mga bata at yung fear na tinanim nila sa utak nila na hindi nila kaya. So that is one of the biggest challenge po na hinaharap po natin. So to sum it up, Overall research suggests that student struggles with algebraic expression arise from the combination of conceptual misunderstanding, procedural errors, linguistic challenge, misconception about variables and algebraic symbol, difficulties in performing algebraic operation, challenges in translating verbal problems into symbolic representations, all contribute to learners' difficulties. Furthermore, weakness in foundational arithmetic skills and confusion caused by complex mathematical language can further hinder students' ability to reason algebraically. These findings emphasize the importance of strengthening conceptual understanding, improving representation skills, supporting students' transition from arithmetic to algebraic thinking. So parehas pa rin po ang sinasabi dito na pwede nating gawin to address those learning gaps. Again, strengthen the conceptual understanding, yung mga and improving representation skills and as well as the foundational skills na kailangan po ng mga bata natin. And we should support them in transition from arithmetic to algebraic thinking. So, yung mga previous knowledge po nila, dapat po ma-utilize po natin ng maayos into smooth transitioning of algebraic thinking. Kumbaga po kasi ito ay, kung sa elementary level po, very basic po yung knowledge na yun, ito po yung, kumbaga, ay metamorphical process. Kumbaga, magle-level up na po yung mathematical concept na kailangan nilang matutunan at ma-develop yung skill. Kaya po, napakalaga ng mga previously acquired skill na gagamitin nila as scaffold to reach a higher milestone in higher mathematical concept. So, ito po, I also present here the strategies, learning materials, activities, and assessment na pwede po nating i-apply to address these learning gaps. First po is the concrete representational abstract strategy wherein we use real-life example before symbolic representation. Siyempre po, kapag mas nakaka-relate yung student at mas na-visualize po nila yung mga mathematical concept, mas madali po nilang matutunan yun. And dito na rin po papasok yung localization pagdating sa mga examples and problems na binibigay natin sa mga bata. Number 2, think, pair, share. Students solve problems collaboratively. Sabi nga po sa ilang mga educational philosophies natin, students learn best when they are socializing with their peers. So why not we use that as an advantage to help them kung saan mag-enjoy sila sa pag-aaral kasi yung mga students mismo or mga classmates nila and peers ang magiging kaagapay nila sa pag-aaral. We also have problem-based learning where real-life situation involving travel, speed, and algebraic modeling ang naka-highlight po. Di ba po? Mas maganda po kasi na ang learning ay palaging ina-anchor natin sa ating tunay na buhay kasi mas ma-appreciate nila yung mga mathematical concept kung may apply po nila ito sa pang-araw-araw nilang buhay. And we also have technology-assisted instruction where we use interactive simulations and digital mathematical tools. So, marami po tayong mga mathematical tools katulad ng mga present ko po sa inyo on the earlier discussion po natin na Desmos, GeoGebra. Pwede rin po tayong gumamit ng mga video discussions. Kumbaga ay para po mas magkaroon ng more visual. Ano po, sabi nga, the more senses na involved o ginagamit yung mga students, the more na mas matututo sila. So, we can use the manipulatives or technology-based learning materials. So, learning materials na pwedeng gamitin natin, interactive PowerPoint lessons, pwedeng Canva, marami pang iba na pwede natin gamitin sa presentation, mga Prezi, mga ganon. Video explanations from Khan Academy or YouTube. We can use digital math practice in Quizizz, Google Forms, Kahoot!, and graphing algebra visualization using GeoGebra and Desmos din po. We also have the learning activities. Sa rate and speed activity, pwedeng students can use GeoGebra simulation to observe how distance and time affect speed. We also have group tasks where the students can solve travel scenarios like riding a bike, traveling through a car, or even walking. We also have algebraic expression activity like digital matching game where verbal praise is connected to algebraic expression and vice versa. So, translate po nila yun. We also have interactive quiz using Quizizz or Kahoot!. And of course, real-life challenge where students record travel time from home to school, and compute speed. So ito po pinaka-ideal. Kumbaga po ay parang performance task na rin po na kung saan talagang ma-experience nila yung pag-solve ng problem na related doon. So we also have assessment strategies na pwede natin magamit. Digital formative quizzes via quizzes or Google Forms, or pwede rin Mentimeter. We also have exit ticket, one speed problem, one translation of phrase or algebraic expression bago po sila lumabas ng room. And we also have performance task where students create a short digital presentation explaining real-life rate problem o another real-life connection po or application ng ating lesson. Of course, pag i-apply po natin yon, sana naman po ay ma-achieve po natin itong mga expected outcomes nito wherein the students were able to improve conceptual understanding of rate and speed, increase ability to translate and manipulate algebraic expression, and higher students' engagement through technology integrated learning. So, that's all for my discussion. Thank you very much. These are the references po that I use. Ito rin po yung mga sources ng mga studies na sinite ko po sa pag-discuss nitong learning gaps po natin when it comes to the rate, speed, and algebraic expression, which are some of the selected least mastered competencies in elementary level. So, this ends my presentation po. Thank you very much for listening.